Capcom just put out some new tech for their latest patch of Monster Hunter Wilds. One of their biggest changes is the hilt stab now works as a counter. Let me show you. Now, it's stated in the patch notes that the hilt stab counter can now be used after any initial no input or echo bubbles, offset, or dodge, right? Let me show you here. This is the initial input. This is the echo bubble. And this is for the dodge. Now, one thing they don't tell you is it's listed that after an evade, you can use the hilt stab counter. But if I regular evade, the character is always going to be in a face fronting position. So it's always hard to get the hilt stab off after an initial input. So what they don't tell you is that you should be in focus mode, and then you'll be able to use the hilt stab after an invade. After some testing, that's one of the things that I've seen is the best way to get the counter off. Either with a forward smash hilt stab or with the focus mode evade hilt stab. So those are the two ones I like to use it for in timing. The good thing about the hilt stab is that you have some armor when it hits. You get a small amount of chip damage. It kind of acts like the counter like longsword, right? Where you have to put an initial input, and then you'll be able to get it off. But it's pretty fast. It really is fast. One thing I can say though that I was having trouble with was that evade originally to figure it out. But once you do, it's almost super easy. So again, a monster's not going to be positioned like this and so on, so it might be a little bit more difficult. I would have liked this to come out a little bit faster. It does feel like there is a slight delay on it, but I would say one of the things is too that it's easier to proc the hilt stab when you have focus mode on. Having the focus mode active and then popping that too. But it's not necessary. You could just easily do it without having focus mode active to put the hilt stab on now. This is a great addition for the hunting horn. I'll be honest, it's a really great addition for the hunting horn. My only thing is I would have liked the hilt stab to not be a directional hit. Maybe we could do... Maybe they could make another button input or something to allow us to do it. But it's really nice to have this move there as an addition, because now we have another way of maintaining ourselves, you know? And it can be used as a follow-up to the offset melody. So if you're going to get an additional move out, you can. The hunting horn has now become very, very combo intuitive. It has been for a little while, but now it's really, really big on activating those combos, man. I would say going forward, we now have more tools to kind of get out of situations, which is really, really good. But I would like them to make that move an offset, or just a little more, maybe take away the chip damage. See how we can add those moves in. Now it's, so I would be saying, as you're playing hunting horn, to kind of incorporate more hill stabs into your combos there. Because the hilt stab is going to come after any additional input. Even if it's at the tail end of that first. See how I'm doing the forward smash? Even all the way at the end of its animation, you're still being able to get the hilt stab off. So just watch out that you don't let it go all the way, because once you start moving, it'll act as it'll break the chain. So this is still part of the chain, still part of the chain. So you can have the hilt stab you can activate the hilt stab even at the end of a chain. So one good tip to have is when you're doing the move initially. So like for instance, right? So let's let this go forward. When I'm hitting the first move, my hand is already at the thumbstick, pulling it back. So there, just in case I need to do it, right? So my hand is at the ready. I play a lot of longsword, so I've kind of already gotten used to that whenever I'm trying to do counters with longsword. So you have a pretty decent window. So just notice that, like, the hilt stab, it even at the end of the animation, you still have it. One of the longer animations, like the like I was saying, one of the longer animations for the backward strike. Look how long that animation is. So you can, once you get the timing down of each of your moves, you'll be able to add that hilt stab much more effectively. See, I even jumped and was able to get the hilt stab. So we can start incorporating more hilt stabs into our lineup. Again, a good note to have is that the hilt stab works better when you're in a neutral state. Doing it from focus mode allows you to put your character in a neutral state. So that way you can get the hilt stab out quicker. So again, adding the hilt stab into your hunting horn utility is going to be a lot more effective at staying in the fight and not getting knocked down and getting hit with big damaging moves. Okay, so test it out, utilize your focus mode a little bit more, and go out and enjoy the hunts. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions of how to actually do the inputs, let me know. Join the Discord, follow, subscribe, and just hit me up regarding it, and I could definitely teach you how to run the hilt stab. Thank you for watching. I'm bad at endings.
¿Tú sabes qué? Cágate en tu
Wow.
porque tú no sabes con quién tú te estás
Wow.
¿ok? Mira, a mí cojones me tiene lo que tú
Wow.
cojones lo que tú digas, ¿ok? Si no te gusta que yo hable, aguanta presión, o si no, mámame el
Wow.
voy a decir a la abuela tuya que me mame el
Wow.
cabrón. La